desks, like in college classrooms. And I actually did not figure out what those desks were for until I was in college. So that's kind of sad. Number 2, do you drive with your left, right, or both hands? I typically drive with both hands at about 2:30 and 9:30. Or I drive with my right hand. Number 3, how many times a day do you brush your teeth? Typically twice, sometimes 3 times. I'm very into oral hygiene. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get a night? I get between 3 and 8 hours of sleep a night. It just depends on what I have going on. Yeah, between 3 and 8. Typically, I wake up after about 6.5 hours of sleep, though. Number 5, how often do you get sex? Well, when I reproduce, it's typically asexually by budding. So I'm just cloning myself, which, hey, more whispers, huh? So, but if I did have sex, it would probably be between 0 and 200,000 times a day, probably. Somewhere in that ballpark area. Number 6, how many miles do you put on your car in a week? When I am stressed out, I drive. Like that is one of the ways that I unwind. And so when I'm not stressed out, I probably put about 150 miles, 200 miles on my car a week. If I'm stressed out, I'll put 350 miles on my car a week because I like to drive. I'll just get in my car and drive. Number 7, are you happy with your home, school, or work life? My home life consists of me and my cat, and yes, I'm very happy with that. He's wonderful. He's a great snuggler. School, I am almost finished with school, and it's going well. And work life, I am about to transition into a different job, and that's going well. So, yeah, I'm happy. On a scale from 1 to 10, like he did, probably I'm about 8 or so, 7 or 8. Number 8, do you keep up with modern technology? I'm a big fan of things that work, so probably not. I have an iPod, I have an iPhone, but I don't have the latest ones that are out. An iPhone is a great piece of equipment. I love it. I have an older computer, an older laptop, but it's an IBM ThinkPad, which is great. Drop it off a cliff. Well, not that much, but it's great. Like, it's durable and it works. It does what it needs to do. Like, my car is like 10 years old, so I'm not real picky about just being real with it. Do you rent or own your home? I own my home. Number 10, how would you describe your personality? I would describe myself as an extroverted introvert. Sometimes I'm really good at talking, and it can make me seem like an extrovert. But in order to recharge, I have to be by myself. And so sometimes I go into kind of cave mode. But when I'm around people, I'm pretty extroverted. Just talking to them and finding out about them. I'm also really creative. That's a big part of my personality. And I always have to have an outlet for it. And whispers are my outlet right now. So it's fun. Number 11, are your parents still alive? Yes. They had me when they were in their mid most serious offense. I haven't been committed of a crime. I was at a party that got busted one time when I was 20. And everyone was drinking, but I made a last-minute decision to not run from the cops and to just stay where I was and act like I was cool. And everyone else was hiding, like in closets and behind the shower curtain and in drawers and under the beds and all this kind of stuff. It wasn't in my apartment. It was in a friend's apartment. And the cops came in and they were like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Just sitting here." And they're like, "Are there people hiding in here?" And I was like, "I don't know." And they were like, "Get out of here." And so, literally, I was like, "Okay." And I grabbed my stuff and just walked down the block and, like, watched just complete chaos break down, like, at that apartment. I think about 20 people got minor possession things. And the only reason I got out of it is because I had this stupid, brave moment. You have to understand, like, I had like 2 drinks that night, but I was still 20 years old, and I would have gotten in trouble. But I didn't, and that was my most serious offense I've ever committed. How many siblings do you have? I have a younger brother. And that's number 16. Number 17. How many children do you have? I don't know. As far as I know, none. So, you never know. Like, the one that got away, I mean, I might have a kid someplace I don't know about, but as far as I know, no children. Name a talent or hobby that you are good at. I'm pretty good at writing poetry, and I'm pretty good at playing the piano, and I used to be pretty good at singing, but I haven't sung in a long time. So, 19, what is your marital status? I am single, never married, and I have a boyfriend. Number 20, have you ever been through a divorce? I think I'm about to burp, and if I do, I apologize. Okay, no, I'm good. Okay. Have I ever been through a divorce? No. But, I would say 90% of the people I knew from high school are married by now, and about 50% of them are divorced. Maybe 60% are divorced. So, it's a really high statistic. Okay. I mean, it happens. Number 21. What's the population of the city you live in? Between 100 and 200,000. Number 22. Well, it depends on how big of an area you want to look at, but like suburbs and everything, it might be like 250, but I think it's about 150,000. Okay. Number 22. Were you popular in school? No, but I was the smart kid. Like, I was the one everybody thought was going to be valedictorian. I wasn't valedictorian, but I was in the top 20 of a class of 450 when I graduated. And everybody knew me as the smart choir girl. Like, that was who I was. Lots of people knew who I was, but they didn't know me / like me necessarily. But I kept a nice profile, I guess. In school, I was nice to everybody. Number 23. Do you have any pets? Yes, I have a great tabby cat who is very fat and sassy and wonderful, and I love him, and he's about 10 years old. Number 24. Do you eat healthy or junk food? I'd like to say I eat healthy, but I probably eat healthy about like Southern food, and I can cook anything with a recipe. Really, you give me a recipe, I can cook it. But I'm pretty much a raw foodie, just because I'm lazy. But I'll eat anything that I can fix in a